The very first tribe, the gatekeeper, the red dragon. So here you're looking at the glyph for the red dragon. And these glyphs, they're Mayan Dreamspell glyphs, but they are based on the ancient Mayan calendar glyphs. There is just slight differentiation, but as you will see if you look up others, they have a very, very similar symbolism. And even just meditating with the glyph can activate the energy within you. The 3 words for the red dragon are birth, nurture, and being. So if you're using a notebook or if you're writing this down in any way, just write those words: birth, nurturing, being. You can play with the grammaticalness of it: birthing, nurturing, being. These are the words, these are the essence of the red dragon tribe. So once you've had a bit of time to feel into those words and what they bring up for you, I want to share with you what these words have brought up for me and what I've learned in my discovery over the years with the red dragon tribe and hundreds of red dragons I've met along the way. Often the red dragon has this very primordial presence, this deep presence of being, of nurturing. Maybe they're a very passionate mother or they're a very passionate businessman, but there's this real presence of emotion, of this visceral life force. And it very much is the gatekeeper, and it can have very creative influences, very creative ideas and imaginations, and this real amplitude and this magnitude to be able to feel quite deeply. And the red dragon is of the red tribes. So it does have this cycle of life, death, this initiation force that maybe can bring a bit more emotional intensity or creative intensity. It can really bring a lot of this to the table in many ways in its life. Ways to know if you're in balance with your red dragon energy is if you have a healthy level of dominance. So you're able to have a healthy authority in your life and to say yes and no with passion and meaning. Another sign is having a healthy creative life. So having access to lots of ideas and lots of imaginings and being able to really pull from this well of creativity. Another sign that the red dragon is balanced in your life is if you are able to birth. You're able to birth projects, birth ideas, allow the life force to move through you. Allow your birthings to come out, and we can birth many things, and not just women. Men can birth many things, and this may be artworks or books or businesses or a family or a new lifestyle choice. Anything that really is requiring you to go through that time of gestation and carrying and birthing a new idea. So you're in balance if you have the ability to do this, to see something from start to finish. And it may not mean it's always easy. Birthing reminds us of the contractions and the expansions that are inevitable in life. Sometimes we have to really be squeezed so that we can move through and expand. It's the pulse, it's the flow. And ways that you may notice if the red dragon energy is imbalanced in your life is if you're overly dominating. So if you take over situations a lot and there's this excessive control, this excessive need to be overseeing everything. If you think of like a helicopter mom or dad, someone who's got their fingers in all of the pies and they're watching everything, they're micromanaging everything. This can be a sign that your red dragon is out of balance and not really serving you best and serving the people around you best. Another sign of an imbalance in the red dragon is if you find you can get really heavy and stagnant, where you get so lost in the presence and the nurturing that you kind of forget the outside world. And you're lost in your creative days or your like a meditation days, someone who's just kind of sunk in and unwilling to allow life to birth through them. This stuckness may sometimes come up with the red dragon. So those are some basic things to look out for with the red dragon. It has the ability to be very creative, very nurturing, very loving and supportive, and the ability to really bring something from a space of unmanifested thought, creativity into the manifested, physically, financially, emotionally, in a project or form of a business. It really has so much power to birth. And that's really what I feel and see with this red dragon energy in so many people, is this desire to be birthing something in life, a desire to deeply nurture themselves, their creations, their friends, their family. So it's really quite a beautiful energy to start us off. on these 20 tribes journey. I want to name for you 3 famous red dragons that I feel really embody this essence and energy in quite different ways. One famous red dragon is Richard Branson. And as you may know if you've heard his name, he's an incredible entrepreneur who's created many, many businesses. And he just has, and I've read into him quite a bit, he has this desire to birth. And he sees that when life stops you or something trips you up, that's just an invitation to try again and to try again. And he's got this very persevering spirit. Another famous red dragon is Celine Dion. And she is quite a powerful artist in her singing and her presence, but also in her passionate personal views. And I've read a lot of her quotes and I've read into some of her interviews, and she's quite a passionate woman who has a lot of emotion and a lot of desire for the world and morals. And I feel she really encompasses this energy as well. One more famous red dragon is Nelson Mandela. And he went through quite a trying life. A lot of initiations came his way, being put in jail, being accused for things he didn't do, really persevering and nurturing this life of growth and the doors that he opened up for so many by living the life that he lived. So those are just 3 examples, and see which one you resonate with. It can show in many different ways. It can be very feminine, it can be very humanitarian, or it can be very business. The red dragon will suit you in its own unique way. So I want you to reflect on, how do these 3 words, nurture, birth, and being, relate to you? What aspects do those speak to in you? And where do you feel your most powerful ability is to birth and to nurture yourself? I have 3 activities, 3 resources that are really going to help you to touch into this energy, the Red Dragon tribe. One of them is to connect with children. So if you have cousins or nephews or volunteering with children at school, and to see with their eyes, to allow your imagination and your creativity to pull through as a child so naturally does. Or if you don't have access to volunteering or spending time with children, then do it on your own. Grab a picture of yourself as a child, preferably below the age of 4, and just meditate with this photo and tune into your inner child and find what creativity lies there. And if you find this quite challenging and that there are many blocks, this may be a sign that it's a huge area of growth for you, because our inner child is with all of us. And when we reject that child, it becomes numb. So if you're finding numbness while trying to connect to your creativity and your imagination, this may be a sign that this is an area you need to dive in more deeply. Another way is to choose any creative pursuit that you enjoy. Maybe it's sports, maybe it's painting, maybe it's poetry, maybe it's some challenge. I want you to choose one of these pursuits and set a goal for yourself and complete that goal. Maybe the goal is, I'm going to write a short story, and the short story is 10 pages long. Or I'm going to do a painting, and really hold yourself accountable. And invite a friend or a family member or a loved one to help you stay accountable so that you can see your creative vision through to finish. To be able to birth something, or to have a physical challenge where maybe you're going to commit to doing 10 minutes of yoga every day and really follow that through for whatever your chosen amount of days is hugely gratifying for the spirit and will help you in all areas of your life. And lastly, this one is for men and women. You may be surprised, but connecting to your womb. The womb is where things are birthed and created and nurtured, and the gestation period that allows all of our creations to come forth into life. And women have a womb, even if it's been removed, it's still there energetically. And men have a womb as well energetically, where they go through their own process of creation and creativity and birthing their desires and projects into the world. And this space, when we learn to tap in, is so powerful, and it helps us create anything we could want, because it helps us learn how we create and also what blocks us in our creation process. So getting in touch with your womb is a hugely beneficial practice for the Red Dragon tribes.